Oh, this looks friggin' awful. It looks like it's the whole way. Hey everyone, how's it going? So in this video I was just going to talk a bit about Moto Guzzi and just how it seems to be tracking in 2019. Now Moto Guzzi's got a very rich history of racing, but more recently it's producing nice bikes with very little funds or support. And this could be traced back all the way to the 70s when they were all under the one umbrella, and the management wanted to, I think, make Benelli the lead brand, and they want Benelli to produce his four-cylinder to rival the CB750 and Kawasaki Z900. Poor old Moto Guzzi was had to pretty much make do with a very modest budget, and they were able to produce the Le Mans. Now the Le Mans was a beautiful bike, and it, in my opinion, it left the Benelli C, those 900 four cylinders I think they are, or left them for dead. And the Guzzi had quite a following. A lot of guys, you know, own Mark IIIs and still own them to this day. In the early 2000s, I think them, like Ducati, were just a touch ahead of where the market was when they brought out the very retro-y looking well, Moto Guzzi brought out the Le Mans, and Ducati brought out those I think it's called the Classic and the Paul Smart replica. And if it had released those in around 2012, I think they would have done a lot better. Price probably didn't help them with their sales, but the Le Mans, and I'm trying to think what the other one was, but it was a big V11 cafe looking thing. I almost bought one because I just thought they were beautiful, but I think by 2005 they'd stopped making them new, and I was in the market for a brand new bike. So in 2015 I bought my first Moto Guzzi, a Grisso. I always had a soft spot for the Moto Guzzi. I always loved the Le Mans Mark III, but I was a Ducati Ducati fan through and through. Had quite a few Ducatis. Anyway, I finally bit the bullet and bought a Moto Guzzi Grisso. I just loved the look of it, and you've seen in my other videos, I go into more detail about it, and been quite happy with it. Anyway, there was an importer change in Australia, and it seems to have they seem to have lost a lot of Moto Guzzi service centres. That a lot of guys that used to work on them no longer do, because they can't do warranty work, and it's a shame. It seems they've lost a lot of knowledge. Some have retired. There's other reasons there, but it just seems in the past 3 years that a lot of Moto Guzzi knowledge is vanishing, or not readily accessible to everyone. I'm quite lucky. My mechanic's got a very good knowledge of the bikes, so I'll be able to keep this service for my lifetime and the lifetime of this vehicle. Noticed in Moto Guzzi shops, a lot of them have there's no just outright Moto Guzzi dealers. The Moto Guzzi is normally lumped in with the Aprilia brand, and because they come under Piaggio, anything that Piaggio owns, a dealer that sells Piaggio gear will generally have Moto Guzzi stuff there. But I went into one of the major Moto Guzzi, or it's meant to be a big Moto Guzzi shop, and I only counted about 8 Moto Guzzis on display. 3 of the V7s, 2 V9s, and California. And I think there was two other V7s on the other side. I'm not 100% sure, but the range didn't look that enticing. Guys that I know own Mark III Le Mans and things like that, they took the V7 racer out and they were just unimpressed with it. And I sort of understand why, and it's not really the Le Mans Mark III was a genuine attempt at a sports bike. The V7 Racer is just it's not a race bike. It's just like a, I don't know, what would you call it? The V7 Racer is more replica light. It looks like a sports bike, but definitely not a sports bike. And I see they got the V7 Rough, which is meant, I'm assuming is meant for rough roads, not it's been roughly put together. And then there was the other V7, and that was just your basic one, and that was a good starting point. I think they've got them advertised for about $12,990 on road. Only problem with that is Royal Enfield's come into the game and they've got a 650 that's around the 10 grand mark, and you know, I believe it'll take more of a market share than what the Moto Guzzi would. I know the V7's their biggest seller, but they really need to bring something more to the table. I know they're bringing the V85, which is meant to be a like an adventure tourer, and thank God they bought that out, because there's no 1200 range. The Stelvio, Grusso and Sport no longer. So I'm hoping I think it's a V85 will take the place of the Stelvio, and I hope it's a genuine sports tourer with a bit of off-road capability. But what I'd really love to see from Moto Guzzi is I'd call it a gentleman's sports bike. What I mean by that is, in the mold of a Mark III or Mark V Le Mans or the V11 Sport, have something that looks like a sports bike, but when you sit on it, it doesn't feel like a sports bike. You're not all cramped up. You're going to be in a nice comfy position. Have the good brakes, have good suspension, have a great frame. The motor doesn't need to be the most powerful. It just needs to be competent. Much like the 1200 was. Now I know the 1200 had its issues, and because of those issues, it plagued its sales. I'm aware of that, but they need to develop a motor that's just got a bit of sporting pretense. They need to bring out a bike like this. They need to bring out a sports bike that would appeal to people like me that are coming up for a new bike and really would like Moto Guzzi to produce something that they'd get excited about and actually ride and like. At the moment, like, there's the V7, V9 range just does nothing for me. The California, I like the Audace, but I was up close to a MG21, the Flying Fortress, and also California, I think it was the Eldorado, the bagger looks, and I know that's quite popular in the States, but it just done nothing for me as a Moto Guzzi fan. I couldn't see me buying one. The Audace, that's something I would consider buying if I was in the market for a cruiser. But they really need to get this. They really need to produce a sports bike. And I know Piaggio, seems like Aprilia does all your sports bikes, and it's like Moto Guzzi. It's like they've inherited something they're not that interested in, and they're just going to keep wheeling out these. I wouldn't call them boring bikes, but they need to produce something more interesting than just a utilitarian or an underpowered utilitarian vehicle. I know that, and I'll keep saying this, the V7's their best seller, but they really need to bring out a sports bike. It's just sad. And unfortunately, if I was to buy a new bike, it wouldn't be a Moto Guzzi, because there's just nothing in their range that appeals to me. What are your thoughts on the Moto Guzzi? Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but for me personally, that's just how I feel about the brand at the moment. I desperately want them to bring out something, that appeals to your more traditional Moto Guzzi fans, the guys that like a bit of performance, that, you know, that can handle, and also, you know, but it's by no means a slug. You know, something in and around the 1000cc mark would be ideal. It could be bigger, it could be 1400 for all I care. Just put all the good, just make sure it handles beautifully. That's what I love about my Grisso. I can throw it into corners and I can keep up with the other bikes. I'm not going to get them in a straight line, but through the bends, the Grisso holds its own. Anyway, that's enough of me whinging. Leave your comments, let me know what you think. Am I off the mark? Do you feel the same way? Let me know. I can guarantee you my video is not going to make any impression with Moto Guzzi or Piaggio Group for that matter, but that's okay. I don't expect them to listen to what I have to say. It'd be nice, but not to worry. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next vid.